Today's video, we're going over all the books we've recently picked up.
It's a lot for me and a little for you.
But it's a classic book haul, y'all.
Yeah, let's dive in. I'm Taylor.
And I'm Brandon.
And we are coming at you with a book haul.
Yeah, we got some books.
We got some books. We
don't typically...
We don't do book haul video, or we don't do big book hauls typically, unless of course it's thrift store book hauls, which
usually,
is nice because we.
But this one is
cheap.
different. We did a little travel.
Yeah.
And so we were at some different bookshops.
Yeah.
We saw some books that we did.
I got a little free library book.
That's right.
I have
I stumbled across a little free library out in the middle
of what would seem
Utah.
like nowhere, but it's beautiful Pine Valley, Utah. I got a couple of sequels for a series that I love, and I've got
some new ones.
Stuff about Pompei because I'm obsessed. It's going to be fun. We're going to get into it. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
You see these beautiful flowers? Brandon came home and surprised me with those yesterday, and they're gorgeous. And so I put them over there so you guys could see them and appreciate them. And this right here.
That's
Pepper's
black
butt.
lump.
Yeah, that's our pup Pepper.
Okay.
That's her big old booty. All right, you ready?
I'm ready. You start, because I only have two.
Okay.
I only have two.
I'm not going to take a long time with a lot of these, but
fine.
let's go ahead and talk about this one here.
All right.
This is Why Mermaids Sing by C.S. Harris. This is the third book in the Sebastian St. Cyr series.
Right.
If you've been watching,
like 73 of them.
I think there's about 12 million. If you've been watching our channel, you know that I'm reading through these. So I went ahead and ordered this on Amazon.
Right.
I think it was only...
You can't, he has some of them are sometimes in Barnes & Noble or stuff. But...
Yeah, you can't find her, it's a woman, by the way.
Oh, sorry.
You can't find,
that's
right there, the ones that you are reading in your order at Barnes & Noble, so you kind of have to... And I like the
Mass Market size?
Yeah, well, because I started with the Mass Market paperback, so I just want to keep that.
And
it's a decent size. Yeah. So this is a...
I don't like the title.
I don't either.
You have When Angels Die, When Gods Punch.
When Gods Punch.
When Kings Culminate.
All right, so I've got these. I'll go ahead and share with you what I actually have. Pepper's getting her feet under the rug.
Why Mermaids Sing? That doesn't...
So this is we got What Angels Fear, When Gods Die, Why Mermaids Sing. So she's definitely trying to stick to it's upside down, to a particular convention in her names.
That's fine, but just mermaids?
I think it's kind of like what we were talking about in our previous video about how the cover of the Empress of Rome book kind of belies the quality of the book. This is, the cover kind of tells about how the book is going to be. Yeah. It's very much following an unconventional detective inspector type guy who is not a detective by trade, but he kind of gets wrapped up in these things where he has to go figure out who killed someone. Sure. They're good. I like the quality of the writing. I feel like it's got some really good historical tinge to it.
Well, obviously, right?
Right. We are in the
Victorian?
The Regency period. Regency. Yeah. And this one is apparently supposed to be one of the best of the first three.
Good.
So I'm excited about that. Okay. So
that's one.
That's my first.
You want to do the other follow-up or sequel?
Yeah, so I also ordered, because if you watched our update video, I fell head over heels in love with Mistress of Rome by Kate Quinn. I talk about it in the previous video. Yeah. Well, I'm about 60-something% of the way through that with that, and I know I want to read the rest of the series because it is a series. So I picked up Daughters of Rome by Kate Quinn. Again, another book cover that I have to assume just does nothing... No.
Oh, okay.
No, I don't think so. But I have to assume that this does nothing for the quality of the story. These covers are so cheesy and Lifetime original period piece movie, and I don't like it because the book inside of the covers is so much better.
A soap opera of biblical proportions.
So it's funny that that's the person's, because it does. It's like if you had a soap opera. I don't know. It's more not like soap opera, more like HBO series of Rome as it relates to the people and the classes and the whole difference in between you had your slaves and then you had your whatever. But I feel like this gives soap opera vibes, but the story itself is really good and rich and gritty and not always picturesque.
Is this a trilogy?
I don't actually know, to be honest. I think it's 4 maybe. I can tell you.
What's the next one going to be? It's probably going to be we got Mistress of Rome, Daughters of Rome.
Does it not have the...
Cousins of Rome.
Cousins of Rome. The other book that I have has the, hold on, don't worry.
The Sirens of Rome.
Sirens of Rome. The sirens were Greek. No, I guess it's also.
The Minstrels.
Okay, so the Rome novels, Mistress of Rome, Daughters of Rome, Empress of the Seven Hills, and Lady of the Eternal City. So there's 4.
Yeah. All right, cool.
And I'm obsessed.
Nice.
Yeah, so got that.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead and do one of yours.
I'll do one. So we were in Utah. We went to go see the Newsies at Tuacahn. And we had some time after dinner, before the show, because the show started late. And so we went to Barnes & Noble, browse, and I saw this one, Kings of the Wild by Nicholas Ames. And one of the commenters in one of our videos said they had just finished it and thought I would really dig it. It's kind of like, it looks kind of like a barbarian, kind of Viking-esque fantasy story about like a gang of mercenaries who used to be like the be-all end-all, but now are in their later stages of life and they're getting back together to do one last job. Right. And
the boys are back in town. That's what it says.
Yeah.
The boys are back in town.
So it has this like kind of cool, gritty, bad boy, Viking / barbarian vibe to it. And I've seen it around and I was like, you know what? Next time I'm in the bookstore and I see it, I'm going to grab it. And that's what it was. And it was one of those like, buy one, get one 50% off.
Yeah, because I got one too.
Yeah, so we were able to kind of save us some money too.
It says Clay Cooper and his band were once the best of the best, the most feared and renowned crew of mercenaries this side of the Heartwild. Their glory days long past, the Mercs have grown apart and grown old, fat, drunk, or a combination of the 3. Then an ex-bandmate turns up at Clay's door with a plea for help, the kind of mission that only the very brave of the very stupid would sign up for. It's time to get the band back together.
Yeah.
That sounds like just like fun.
Oh, yeah.
A rollicking, page-turning, edge-of-your-seat road trip of a book. Great characters, lovable rogues that I genuinely cared about, and all manner of fantastical monsters, all spiced with a sly sense of humor that had me smiling throughout. Wonderful.
Cool.
That's John Gwynne.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah. So
Nice.
and it's a floppy boy, which I
It is
like.
a floppy boy.
So yeah, I'll be getting to that sometime, but I thought it would be a good addition to our bookshelf.
Yeah, I like it. Very good. Okay, you want my next one?
Yeah.
Well, since you did that one, I picked up the same trip at Barnes & Noble into St. George. This is by Mikhail Bulgakov, excuse me, The Master and Margarita.
Yeah.
I had seen this book before.
Love
and
the cover.
I love the cover too. I think it's fantastic. It's so weird. It's like there's some
snake tongue.
Yeah, there's some art, like famous classic art. I don't know who actually did the cover of this, but there is some classic art that has the cats that look really strange with these like weird, almost human mouths.
Yeah.
I would love to know where this art came from. Where do they tell you the cover art? Oh, cover design by Christina Skulski. Cover illustration by Robert Goldstrom. Okay. But there is like some like art from classic Renaissance that has weird cats.
Like the font.
Yeah, look at this.
Kind of like a classic font.
It's almost like I don't know what you call that. It's kind of looks like classic Times New Roman,
Something.
like typewriter font almost. Anyway, it is a translated version of a Russian Soviet era story. It was written in
I don't know.
1967
Wow. Okay.
by the estate of Mikhail Bulgakov. And I don't really know what to tell you other than that it's just a story of some really some characters that come together. It kind of has like a little bit of a satirical vibe to it. It takes place during Stalin's time in power. But this was apparently suppressed in the Soviet Union, so you couldn't actually get this book, but it was kind of like a parable on power and its corruption, as it says, on good and evil, human frailty, and the strength of love. And it kind of tells that story through some of these characters. So it says in the Master and Margarita, the devil himself pays a visit to Soviet Moscow, accompanied by a retinue that includes the fast-talking, vodka-drinking giant Tomcat, Behemoth. He sets about creating a whirlwind of chaos that soon involves the beautiful Margarita and her beloved, a distraught writer known only as the Master, and even Jesus Christ and Pontius Pilate. The Master Margarita combines fable, fantasy, political satire, and slapstick comedy to create a wildly entertaining and unforgettable tale that is commonly considered the greatest novel to come out of the Soviet Union. It appears in this edition in a translation by Mira Ginsburg that was judged brilliant by Publishers Weekly. And so I was definitely caught by the cover.
Of course.
And
It wouldn't be.
I think it's interesting to read about this era from that perspective at that time.
100%.
Because I don't know a lot about that, but I know that it was an interesting time.
Yeah.
So got that. Thought it was interesting.
Right. And one of our patrons, you shared this on
I can't remember who.
Patreon, but they said it was one of their favorites.
Oh my gosh, who was it?
I can look it up.
But anyway, yeah, they said that this was really good. And so I got that one. Now you have one here that I actually picked up for you.
Yeah.
Because at Barnes & Noble, you could get it for $5 if you bought a drink at the Starbucks. And it's regularly a $15, $16
Yeah, it's
novella.
regularly $14. But it's...
And this is one you're going to be familiar with.
Yeah, this is Stephen King's Rita Hayworth in Shawshank Redemption. This is the little novella that the movie Shawshank Redemption...
Please tell me you've seen the movie.
Oh, I've seen it a million times.
Okay, good. I couldn't remember if this was like a movie. It was.
Yeah.
It was like always on.
Yeah, you'd watch like parts of it and then catch it like 2 hours later and catch another part of it.
It's such a good movie. Even as like a youth,
yeah,
I knew
but I mean,
that it was such a good movie.
The movie is so good, and I didn't realize that the book is so short. It's only 111 pages.
I know, I'm totally reading that.
And I think this was one of those like it was part of a collection of short stories, and they've now separated it out so you can get it in just this form. Our friend who moved to Virginia, Derek, he's read this and he says the movie's great, this book is great, but this gets even more graphic in some of the shower scenes with Andy.
Oh,
Devine.
like
Devine.
Non-consensual type things. Yeah. Okay.
So I'm interested to read it. It's probably something I can probably pick up and knock out in a weekend because it's only 111
I feel like you
pages.
could knock that out in like a day.
Yeah. So
on a slow day.
On a slow day on the
when
porch.
When do we have those?
With a piece of hay in my mouth, rocking on the porch.
We need to replace the rocking chairs out on our porch. Moving on.
Yeah. So that's mine. Stephen King and The Shawshank Redemption.
And Rita Hayworth.
Yeah.
Okay, my next one.
All right.
Picked this up a while ago on a whim from Barnes & Noble. We were looking around, not for anything in particular, and I came across this. I love...
What's it called?
Pompei.
By who?
Robert Harris. What did I say?
You didn't say anything. You just said pick this up.
I'm sorry. Pick this up. Pompei by Robert Harris. I love Pompei. I love the history of Pompei. I want to go and see it.
I know.
And
they keep finding new things.
They keep finding new things. Anytime they find new things, I'm always up for looking at that. But I also like to read about that kind of experience. And the Wolf Den trilogy by L.E.D. Harper deals with that. Great one if you're interested in Pompei. I grabbed this because Pompei, terrific, gripping, a literally shattering climax. And I started reading like the first couple of pages and I was like into it.
Yeah.
In the store.
As you do.
It says, along the Mediterranean coast, the Roman Empire's richest citizens are relaxing in their villas, enjoying the last days of summer. But while the gorgeous weather belies impending doom, only one man is worried. The young engineer Marcus Atilius Primus has taken charge of the Aqua Augusta, the enormous aqueduct that brings fresh water to the people around the Bay of Naples. There is a crisis on Augusta's main line, somewhere north of Pompeii, on the slopes of Mount Vesuvius, and Atilius must repair the aqueduct before the reservoir runs dry. His plan is to organize an expedition in Pompeii, then head to the place where he believes the fault lies. But Pompeii proves to be a corrupt, violent town, and Atilius discovers that there are powerful forces at work, natural and otherwise, threatening to destroy him. So this is interesting because it tells the story of Pompeii through the eyes of a man who works on the infrastructure there. And not only like a man who works on it, he's like the engineer. And so I think that's kind of cool to get a different perspective.
Not a love story
love story. I mean, not necessarily, I don't know. But also to kind of get an idea of what it was like working on infrastructure at that time, which was so, in my opinion, far beyond anything anybody else was doing.
No, I mean, the Romans advanced infrastructure and engineering tenfold.
Right. And well, in ways that other parts, even like later on.
Yeah. I mean,
was gone. Like
because after the Roman Empire falls is
like
when Europe falls into the
whatever.
Dark Ages. Well, if you are a world historian, you know that while Europe was in the Dark Ages, people were doing stuff.
Oh, absolutely. Right. But like Britain, for example, once the Romans left, they were living back in,
it was nothing.
Hovels.
Yeah.
I don't know. Anyway, I thought it sounded like an interesting book. The opening of it is intriguing. And so I have that one.
Cool. You have one more.
I do. Do you want me to? Yeah, I know.
I have no more.
You've got nothing else. You want to do a song and dance? All right. This one is one I picked up from the Little Free Library in Pine Valley, Utah. And I'll pop a picture up of the Little Free Library where I found this and a couple of where we were because it was really picturesque and gorgeous. This is called Circling the Sun by Paula McLean. She is the one who wrote The Paris Wife, which is a book I didn't finish. I got about 60% through. 11 years ago and
Yeah,
I
yeah.
never finished, but I enjoyed it. And I think I would like to pick it up again. It's kind of Ernest Hemingway. It's about Ernest Hemingway and a woman who meets him.
Yeah.
And it's almost like the sun also rises. Is that the book?
Yeah, when he's in Paris.
But like more like what inspired that,
see, yeah.
right? Because it goes between Paris and Madrid.
Okay.
Anyway,
Yeah.
she's writing here a book that takes place in Kenya. I don't know if I really want to read like the whole thing, but
No, you don't.
It returns with her keenly anticipated new novel, transporting readers to colonial Kenya in the 1920s. Circling the Sun brings to life a fearless and captivating woman, Beryl Markham, a record-setting aviator caught up in a passionate love triangle with safari hunters Dennis Finch Hatton and Karen Blixen, who, as Isaac Dinesen wrote the classic memoir
Out of
Africa.
Huh.
Yeah, so it's just a story about that. I think it's based on, it's a historical fiction memoir.
Interesting.
Wait, Paula McLean cements herself as the writer of historical fiction memoir with Circling the Sun, giving vivid voice to Beryl Markham, a singular, extraordinary woman. So it's about a real person.
Real person or a person from a historical fiction?
Brought to Kenya from England as a child and then abandoned by her mother, Beryl is raised by both her father and the native Kipsigis tribe who share his estate. Her unconventional upbringing transforms Beryl into a bold young woman with a fierce love of all things wild and an inherent understanding of nature's delicate balance. But even the wild child must grow up, and when everything Beryl knows and trusts dissolves, she's catapulted into a string of disastrous relationships. And then it kind of goes on to tell a bit more. It gives a really cool 1920s Kenya, like the colonies in Kenya. Got a map here, which I love, a good map.
Yeah.
I don't know, I grabbed it because it looked interesting, and I liked what I had read from the Paris Wife. And it was a little free library.
Yeah.
And it's either one I'm going to read or one I might, I don't know. Who knows? It's a pickup.
But people, when we shared that as well, said it was a good one.
Good. I'm glad people like it. It just sounded interesting to me. And there's like, when you read the flap a little further, there's some really interesting relationships. And I think it might get a little spicy.
Ooh.
Gotta love the spice.
Gotta flip it in. Wow. The spice.
Okay. Well, those are our book pickups, guys.
That's our book haul.
If you've read any of these, let us know what your thoughts are down below. But yeah, that's our little book haul. Your little book haul, my bigger book haul.
Yep.
Yeah.
And hey, who knows? Maybe one of these will end up becoming a book club book on our Patreon.
I know. Well, we talked about the other.
You guys need to join if you're not a part of.
Check
We're
out
having fun over there.
Patreon. There's some good stuff over there. We're talking about all kinds of things. But we have 3 different books that you could choose from if you want to be a part of the book club. And we do live Google Meets a couple times a month, and they're fun.
Yeah.
So much fun. So head over there, see if it's for you.
Yeah,
all right.
sure.
We'll catch you guys in the next one.
Bye.
Bye.